off Naughty Nana's new flag. So we're live. We're live. Oh, a few minutes early.
Well, that's okay. It's good to be early.
Got some beautiful women here. Wanda, Sue and Anita. Hey. And these awesome ones. Dave and Lulu. Hey, Pinstar. Back at the gates.
They're awake. What's your flag? No.
Start the conversation.
Gonna make you all dizzy, aren't I? There we go.
So it's a matter of...
All right, a few minutes early.
Because I need to buff all the paintwork and...
Let's get my flag sorted. Oh, hang on.
So...
How's it going in general?
Good.
Let's go check the hotspots working.
Well, that was all on it. So
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And I just put a bullseye and a light bar on it. And then this came.
Nice.
It's all right.
Did you hit the roo? Was it at night or?
No, in the morning.
Yeah.
About 9ish.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was 8:30, 9 o'clock.
Yeah, right.
No.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear. Well, not fear of driving. It's just I'm going to try to make my whole car and my aura really strong, and so no animals.
Well, I was hoping not to see any on my way down because I didn't get here till a bit after 7 last night. Just after 7 I rolled in.
Right.
But I'd been battling heavy wind all the way yesterday. Happily bird.
Yeah, I heard it was windy here yesterday.
I'm busy wrangling with my flag.
When I got here. Early in the day it had been, wasn't when I left camp. However,
Thought you were going to be on the road, probably. So we've got some extra bods here today, which is lovely. Just the 3 of us, or the 2 of us. We've got 6 of us. Counting up right. Cool. And more tomorrow, no doubt. Hi, Nobby.
I haven't signed in.
I'm just
today.
I'm gonna sign in as well.
I don't even. If I open that door, my flag's come fall.
Go back here. It's Nana's new flag. So we've got Nana here today. We've got Sue here somewhere. She disappeared. Oh, and Lulu. Pin. And this is Pin's Adventures, is it? Or just Pin's Adventures? Thank you for being here. Okay, we lined up properly. Sorry, swinging you around like a maniac. Leave you alone now.
The oath of remembrance, please remove headdress. That's you, Nana.
Oh, Dave.
They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun, and in the morning, we will remember them.
We will remember them.
lest we forget.
Lest we forget.
Governor General, this letter is a direct appeal from an ever-growing group of Australian people, both here and at home. We call on you to action the public reveal of the unredacted findings in the police report from the Woodwell Commission 1995 to 1997. The Woodwell Commission, as catalogued with the Police Integrity Commission, resulted in a 90-year suppression order containing 28 names of alleged pedophiles of prominent stature, including judges, government officials, an ex-Prime Minister and others. That our Australian government has made no attempt to undo the 90-year suppression order for the supposed safety and well-being of the population is unacceptable. Revisited again in 2015 in the Senate Legal and Constitutional Affairs Legislation Committee meeting, the then Senator Bill Heffernan delivered the same request for the findings to be released to the public. As the Senator stated, it's not so much the secrets that's the problem, it's when a group of people such as the 28 keep each other's secrets. Further into his appeal, he quoted the judge of the day. We decided not to revisit that issue because the public would lose confidence in the judiciary. Governor General, how can you justify the 90-year suppression order of the police report from the Woodwell Commission, given that the Australian taxpayers paid out roughly $64 million on the case? We have a right to full disclosure of the investigations. 28 years later, we have stood each week since August 30, 2021 at Government House in Queensland and daily since the 7th of February 2022 here in the nation's capital. We are either real victims, family members of victims, or friends of victims of the appalling industry of child trafficking and pedophilia. It is up to the men and women of Australia to determine their level of confidence in the police, judiciary system, the media, yourselves and Parliament on this matter. Yours sincerely, concerned men and women of Australia.
So it's just a flick switch up.
Good dawning. I am Sue, of family name Fen. I am here to sing some lyrics that were sung in the pandemic by a lady called Katana. She's from New Zealand and she sang this on the front line. I have had the good fortune of the Holy Spirit giving me some more lyrics, and so I would like to sing this on behalf of all the Expose to 28 team across this nation and across this planet. I also have lyrics here and I've printed them off and I've got extra paperwork there. Hey, this is the cry of the mothers who know that this corporate greed has now got to go. This is a cry for your children whose futures are at stake. Which side of history will you participate? Hey, hey. got to go. This is a cry for your children whose futures are at stake. Which side of history will you participate? Hey, 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 hey. This is a cry for the children who know that this corporate greed has now got to go. This is a cry for your children whose futures are at stake. Which side of history will you participate? Hey, hey, hey. This is a cry for the people who know that this corporate greed has now got to go. This is a cry for your children whose futures are at stake. Which side of history will you participate? Hey, hey, hey. This is a cry to the Governor General who knows that this corporate greed has now got to go. This is a cry for our children whose futures are at stake. Which side of history will you participate? Join me now. Hey, 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 hey. This is a cry to Samantha Molston who knows that this corporate greed has now got to grow. This is a cry for our children whose futures are at stake. Let's join together and expose the 28. Hey, 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 hey. Thank you.
Well, Samantha, what do you think of that? I know that you know. I know that your husband knows. I know that the AFP knows. I know that our corrupt government knows. When will you release those documents? When will you expose the 28? Our children, our grandchildren, and those who are fortunate enough to have great-grandchildren, they all deserve better. I am rather disappointed and disgusted that we have had to be here for as many days as we have. We go unanswered. I won't say unheard, because many times we've been asked to move on. Well, guess what, Samantha? This Nana's going nowhere. here to get answers. Bill wanted answers. My friend Senator Bill, he wanted answers. And instead, he was shut down. He was kicked out of Parliament. His family have been threatened. It's a disgrace. This government's got to go. And unless you stand up, Samantha, you also need to go. Samantha, my name is Nana, and I have lost confidence in you, in the government, in Big Pharma, the media, the AFP, any form of authority. I lost confidence. It's time, Samantha, for you to dissolve Parliament. I know that we're in caretaker mode at the moment, but we want a fair election, not a selection of the next lot of puppets. It's time to clean house, including the People's House, which is government house in which you reside free of charge. It's time for you all to go. Furthermore, with all the documents that Senator Heffernan produced to the Royal Commission under an order to produce, which Simeon knows all too well, I want those documents released to the people, unredacted, immediately, yesterday even. And in case you're not aware, the word unredacted means no black lines. And we will continue to be here and anywhere else we can be. And we will continue to make this request until you do as instructed. Samantha, I was thinking about you the other day, wondering what kind of regrets you're going to have at the end of your tenure. Regrets are funny things. We all have regrets, big and small. When I think about things I regret, it's funny what comes up. Of course, I have enormous regrets, but it's funny the little ones you have and how long they stick with you. Something that often comes up when I think about these things is a little incident that happened when I was 12 or 13 years old. I was at Woden Plaza and I needed to go towards the library and had to cross that outside area where the fountain used to be, the water. And it was a miserable day. It was really windy. A little bit of drizzle, but the wind made it really nasty. And as I walked over towards the library, there was an old lady walking towards me, and she was struggling because the wind was tunnelling there through that, next to that tower. And I saw her, and I kept walking. And as I walked past her, I thought, oh, I should have helped her. She would have made it to where she was going. She just struggled. And I could have easily just offered her a bit of assistance. Funny how those little things niggle at you
that was nearly 50 years ago. So, Samantha, what is it that you're going to regret? Do you ever think of those children? The children that you can be helping right now. Surely that's going to be a huge regret for you to have not stepped up when you could so easily have said something, anything. Just mentioned it. Just brought it to the awareness of the public. That's not a hard ask. Even if you won't reveal the 28, you could at least bring it to the public attention that there are children right now who are being abused by those in authority, by those who have power over them. Won't you regret that? A decent person would regret not standing up for the children when they had an opportunity, when they had a voice, and they could have changed thousands and thousands of lives. I might just read to you a bit more from Kelso Lawyers' website. I'll read to you about offending institutions, the New South Wales Juvenile Justice Facilities. Mount Penang, now called Frank Baxter, Ryby, Cobham, Minda, Manali, Keelong, Riverina, and a slew of other locations were holding facilities for remand and sentenced juvenile detainees in New South Wales. These facilities became notorious for their harsh conditions and the outright abuse doled out by both male and female staff members. Problematic teens were often manhandled and provoked on purpose so the staff could abuse and punish the children further. Little was done to rehabilitate the teens. Nothing was done to help them heal from past trauma. But that's just how juvenile justice worked until recent years. The New South Wales juvenile justice system has a lot to answer for. In this article, we expose some of the worst offenders in New South Wales and share the experiences of detainees who were let down, abused and abandoned by the institution assigned to rehabilitate them. Mount Penang Training School. Close to Gosford on the central coast of New South Wales, boys were sent to Mount Penang after being convicted or had been declared difficult to manage in other institutions run by the Child Welfare Department. Some of the boys were sent to Mount Penang for merely missing school. Others were sent to Mount Penang because their mothers could no longer care for them or couldn't cope with their own personal battles. The boys were aged 14 to 16 and were subject to harsh discipline, according to the Child Welfare Department. And I quote, "An inmate of Mount Penang is exposed to a regulated, demanding program from 6 a.m. until 9 p.m. In the course of each day, therefore, he is brought into contact with varying influences depending on his location, which has a decided impact on his attitude, behaviour and character. Those who do not submit to this regime were sent to even worse institutions like Darrock or Tamworth Institution for Boys. Between Mount Penang, Darrock and Tamworth, very few boys were reformed, and many went on to commit violent crimes. Mount Penang Juvenile Justice Centre is one of the many institutions that failed to care for its inmates and instead chose to abuse them.
In 2014, a survivor, known only as FE, submitted an impact statement to the Royal Commission into the institutional responses to childcare abuse regarding his time in state care. He spent time in Gill Memorial Home, Boys Home in Goulburn, run by the Salvos, and Minder Shelter in Lidcombe, Yasmar Boys Home and Charlton Boys Home in Ashfield, Royalston Boys Home in Glebe, and eventually Effie ended up at Mount Penang. Effie was abused in almost all of the state-run facilities. It was 1977 when Effie arrived at Mount Penang. He told the Royal Commission that Mount Penang was more like a jail than a home, and the boys who lived there referred to the facility as the Pound. Effie was physically and sexually abused by the officers at Mount Penang on a daily basis. The officers would strip off his clothes, hose him down and flog him with whatever was available, even the garden hose. This would often lead to anal rape. Effie said he would scream loud enough to deter the officers from attacking him, but this often didn't work. After 3 months, Effie was sent home to live with his mother. In 2016, the Nepean Police Area Command established Strike Force Eckersley in response to complaints from the Royal Commission. An 81-year-old man was issued a court attendance notice for 4 counts of buggery, 3 counts of indecent assault on a male, and 6 counts of sexual assault, knowing no consent was given. It is alleged the offender abused 6 boys between 1977 and 1988. He was employed as the superintendent of Mount Penang Training School. It was later revealed that the offender was the former mayor of Gosford, Lawrence Laurie Joseph Mayer. He attempted to have a non-publication order placed on the case, but Magistrate Margaret McGlynn refused it. So let's have a bit more of a look at Mr. Mayer. Former Gosford Mayor, Laurie Mayer, charged with child sexual assault offences. This is an article from the ABC, dated 21st of April 2020. A former mayor who campaigned for the homeless for many years in New South Wales Central Coast has been charged with multiple child sex offences dating back 4 decades. Key points. Laurie Mayer was accused of multiple child sex offences dating back 4 decades. The 81-year-old is one of the most high-profile community leaders on the New South Wales Central Coast. It is alleged he sexually abused 6 boys between 1977 and 98 at Mount Penang Training School near Gosford. Lawrence Laurie Joseph Mayer, 81, is the 9th person to be charged as part of a police investigation into alleged historic abuse at the Central Coast Boys Home near Gosford and similar facilities across the state in the late 1970s and 1980s. The former independent mayor of Gosford City Council was a superintendent at Mount Penang Training School, where he is accused of abusing the 6 boys. Mr. Mayor has been charged with 13 offences. As I described previously, he did not attend when his case was heard before Penrith Local Court this week. There was no attempt to have a non-publication order placed on matter, there was an attempt to have a non-publication order placed on the matter, but it was refused by the magistrate. Mr. Mayer had an extensive career in public life. He was elected to council in 2004 and served as mayor between 2007 until his retirement in 2014. He founded local homelessness shelter services and was its chief executive for 25 years until 2018. The 81-year-old has received numerous accolades, including an Order of Australia in 2010 for his service to the community through welfare and local government organisations. Coast Shelter has expressed dismay at the charges laid against Mr Mayor, emphasising he was no longer associated with the organisation. Strikeforce Eckersley was set up in 2016 following a series of complaints made to the Royal Commission into institutional responses to child sexual abuse. The Mount Penang Training School was established in the 1940s as a reformatory facility. Ms Mayor's case has been adjourned to return to the Penrith Local Court on June 19. And a further article years later I will find. Okay, this is from last year, 26th of July. OAM recipient Laurie Mayer fails to halt retrial for alleged historical child sexual abuse. In short, former New South Wales Mayor Laurie Mayer, tricky names, has lost his bid to halt a retrial on 2 historical child sex abuse charges. The OAM recipient is seeking a permanent stay on proceedings due to his old age and poor health. What's next? He will now face retrial expected in 2025. The New South Wales Court has rejected claims by the former high-profile New South Wales Mayor and homelessness advocate that he is too old and unwell to face a retrial on historical child sex abuse charges. Where have we heard that before? Laurie Mayer, 86, who was Gosford Mayor between 2007 and 2012 and founder of one of the state's largest homelessness charities, is set to face charges of buggery and indecent assault on a male dating back more than 30 years. In 2022, a district court jury acquitted Mr Mayor of 6 child sex abuse charges, but it was hung on the remaining 2 counts involving 2 boys. The offences were alleged to have taken place when he was superintendent at Mount Penang Training School for Boys near Gosford between 1977 and 1980. Represented by Margaret Kane, the OAM recipient sought a permanent stay on proceedings due to ill health. At a stay hearing earlier this year, Ms Kane described Mr Mayor as a dying man and urged a retrial would be an affront to common decency. Seriously. But in the Downing Centre District Court in Sydney on Friday, the stay application was dismissed. Judge Donna Woodburn acknowledged Mr Mayor was suffering from a myriad of health conditions, but said the trial process could be modified to cater for his involvement via an audio-visual link, which would not require his attendance in person. Crown Prosecutor May Hay also previously maintained Mr Mayor could face a retrial if the process was adjusted to meet his physical needs, citing shortened days and longer breaks. The retrial date remains uncertain. Despite Mr Mayor's stay application, Judge Woodburn acknowledged timing would be a challenge for the retrial because no future date had been set. She told the court it would most likely have to be held in 2025 because of no trial dates available this year. She accepted a further application to stay the proceedings could not be ruled out. Mr Mayor was the head of Mount Penang Training School for Boys at Kariong, I think that's how you pronounce it, from 1975 to the early 1990s, and went on to set up homeless charity Coast Shelter in Gosford. In 2020, a police investigation was triggered by complaints made against him at the Royal Commission into Child Sexual Abuse. A retrial date is expected to be set early next month. So who knows what's happened to that? So there you go. Same stories, previous ones I've read out. Poor old men
frail health, oh please, excuse us, sorry, we really can't handle having to go to court.
Where was the compassion that they're expecting now? Where was that compassion for the children that they abused repeatedly? And now they want compassion.
Well, thankfully,
And it seems to be
women judges
that will not give them the compassion that they seek. And rightfully so.
Those judges won't regret what they've done, Samantha, because they've stood up for what's right.
What are you going to regret? We'll see, won't we? Expose the 28, Samantha.
Thank you. Okay. Good dawning. Hello, Samantha. Hello. Good dawning, everyone. So, something that's been on my mind a long time, been wanting to say things I did the other day, and strangely the feed buffered and none of it came through. But this is going to encapsulate it, because I'm calling on all of us to be true to ourselves and shine our light. Find what inspires us, find what brings us joy, find what lights our heart up. So what I wanted to say before, and I did say, but as I said, it disappeared. When we shout at you, when we are angry, and we have every reason to be angry, I am aware that that can make people feel scared and not want to stand up and do what's right. They're afraid that they're in trouble. The children are in trouble because people are not standing up and speaking up and doing what's right to save them and to make them safe. So I'm calling on care and compassion from all of us to be aware that we want change, which I know you all know, to draw that out from our hearts by shining our own light and being strong and being brave and doing what's right and facing our fears. So this is what I wanted to read. It's from Marianne Williamson, A Return to Love. Reflections on the Principles of A Course in Miracles. Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine, as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So this is what has been in my heart, calling all of us to shine a light, to do what inspires us and brings us joy. And in that, perhaps there's a protection that we can be shed upon others so that they may do the same, that they may see us doing this and face their own fears and shine the light and step up and do what's right. Be brave. Have care, compassion in our hearts. We want to change what's happening. I know we all do. Shine all of our lights and be brave. Thank you.
I notice you are clearing your monitoring cameras this rising. Let's hope this clears your vision and what you see. That finally you open your eyes and your heart and take appropriate and just actions, which technically is your duty. For survivors of child abuse and or trauma, you can heal and overcome. Believe in this and believe in you. Believe in your pure light and potential. You are innocent and divine. You have survived so much already. Don't give up now. We are here for you. We believe you, your story, your experience, and just know that you are so much more than that. Connect to the sun today, to the essence of life and the joy of play. We are all creators here, and with our hearts, visions, and actions, we can release and clear. Breathe in deeply now, in honor of this sacred life, this precious gift given unto you and unto me. We chose this life, and we choose and still choose now to be free. What will we choose today? Let it be love. Let it be connection, let it be flow. It's in that energy we continue to heal and we continue to grow. Connect to the sun each rising as your guiding light of life and sustenance. Breathe in now and out again. Release and let go. The time is now, 11:11. You are not small. Let your light be seen. Let it be known. And together we grow. We see you, we hear you, we love you, you are love, you are loved. Remember and step forward into your own expanding light of consciousness.
What do you want to do?
I was just going to leave this here if you were going to leave it here. That's all.
That's cool.
Thank you again for what you said.
Thank you. I had a good burp today. How are we going, Tripsters?
Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Never got a jab, never wore a mask. 2 years go past and we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They raided the camps, done all they can. 2 kicks out of camp, but we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They broken the roads, broken the law, but can't break the spirit now. We're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They smashed my car and locked me up, but I'm out on bail and I'm still here. They try so hard, we try not laugh. They tow my car, the next day's back in the same car park. These cops ain't smart, I'ma make a drop this charge. Son, you watch, we take it back to the start. No D's, no titles, no trespass. Now we charge you, tables are turned. We come with the proof for all the assaults, all the abuse. Nobody gonna can't cut you loose, knock knock. Yeah, who at the door? Makada, bring on the storm. Library to epic, thought we were gone, regroup and come back to the front lawn. Yeah, we're still here, still ain't got no fear. We will cry, still ain't shed no tear. The sense of we still here. Is that all you got? We take on you mob, we unite. You don't call the shots, sovereign's been here all along. And they're still here, yeah, they're still here. Return of the sovereign, but they never left. Yeah, they're still here, yeah, they're still here. Yeah, they're still here, the oldest civilization. It's been how many years? They're still here. Need your support for the new way this war is fought. Alawari for the law and in June income bore accords. Gotta cut out the cancer, yeah, that's what the plans are. Walk with the elders, they got the law, we got the numbers, that is the answer. Yeah, we're still here, yeah, we're still here. Never got the jab, never wore a mask. 2 years go past and we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They raided the camps, done all they can. 2 kicks out of camp, but we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They've broken the roads, broken the law, but can't break the spirit now. We're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They smashed my car and locked me up, mad on bail, and I'm still here. They see us come, we see them run. Now we are one, free our daughters, free our sons. Yeah, they're getting scared. Front line, you can bet I'm there. Even when we're gone, our spirit lives on. Yeah, we ain't going anywhere. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Never got a jab, never wore a mask. 2 years go past and we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They raided the camps, done all they can. 2 kicks out of camp, but we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They've broken the roads, broken the law, but can't break the spirit now. We're still here. Yeah, we're still here. Yeah, we're still here. They smashed my car and locked me up, but I'm out on bail and I'm still here.
Yes, well.
Man of many talents.
Go that way? We'll go this way.
Yeah.
Over there. Okay. Wanda's in the middle. No.
You can just mime.
Yeah, I can sing it. It's all good.
Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world. Red and yellow, black and white, they're all precious in his sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world. Red and yellow, black and white, they're all precious in his sight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. They're not for sale!
No word, never will be.
If Mama ain't happy, nobody's happy. But if Nana ain't happy, run!
Okie dokie.
And are we early tomorrow?
We are early tomorrow. 8 o'clock start here tomorrow.
8 o'clock start, everyone.
Yes. And then we're off to the High Court
Apparently Bob's not going to be there.
Oh.
And also
for a day longer.
Oh, really?
Oh, I thought somebody was behind me. It's the flag. Watch the road, guys. Oh, yeah. Yeah, in court to try to expose the government overreach in Victoria and WA border, and the employers mandating certain medications on their employees in Victoria. So that'll be really interesting to see what they do with that. I heard somewhere it was to determine where they're going to hear the case, but I could be wrong, so hopefully it's a bit more than that. Anyway, there'll be a show of who knows what kind of numbers to show them that we ain't forgot, and we don't want to see this crap happen again. Oh, Rod Cullerton's by video. Okay. Oh, he's a broken leg. Okay. Excellent. Okay, thank you everybody for being there. Thank you, Sue, for your lovely singing. Beautiful voice.
Thank you. Yeah, it's good. Its time is right now.
Yeah, it is amazing, which is good.
Yeah.
Are we still on? Here
Yes,
we are.
we
Do you want to say
Still
something?
on?
Here we go.
No, it's all good.
Oh, I thought you were
It
going to say
was
something.
refreshing, having a couple of days away camping with another friend who's on the same side as us, and had this other person who was camping next to us come and say, "I love your flag," and it started a whole conversation that lasted an hour and a half.
Yes.
Just opened the door and she told us of how through not taking certain procedures, medical procedures, she lost her business. Had a vending machine business. She wasn't allowed into the malls where her machines were, so therefore lost her income, lost her business, and now her and her husband have sold up their house, downsized, and they're travelling a fair bit of the time in a caravan. They have a smaller home base, but they travel a lot of the time now. And they were encouraged to see that there was someone else out there who felt the same as them, and it's always encouraging to find another family member.
Yeah,
So it was
that's
really
so good.
to catch up.
And they're everywhere.
They are.
Yeah.
She's not a naughty nana yet, but will be very shortly, she told me. So that was also good, because I had a bit of sad news over the last few weeks. School friend, her mum passed away just before Christmas in her 90s, but she'd had 5 or 6 medical procedures. And her daughter-in-law had had certain medical procedures, and a granddaughter that she was looking so forward to meeting was born sleeping. I found that rather heartbreaking.
That's so
And
sad.
that was at the end of a week where we'd been to a funeral. We could have gone to 2 more. And we knew of 7 people that died that week. So I'm feeling that a lot at the moment. The fact that, hearing of so many deaths within our circle of family and friends. And 2 people, including a 3-year-old who died of a terminal cancer. That was on the day that a friend of ours was knocked off his bike and died 12 months earlier. It was on that day, and found that a pretty tough day. So it's always encouraging to be with like-minded people and to meet new like-minded people who I consider family.
That's good.
But they're everywhere.
Yeah.
You've got Lily and Shannon and Michael and that gang going around. New South Wales coast, and they just keep bumping into people who are awake everywhere they go.
That's right.
So it's everywhere.
And, you know, for all the damage that has happened in the past 5 years, it has made us like beacons to each other and made us easier to find for each other. So
just having one little sticker on your vehicle or flying one little flag, which is all I did was I hung my flag on the door, a little car flag, and that's what brought these people to come and say hello.
yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, thank you, Nana. I relate to that. On the back of my car, I have stickers everywhere. I have the red flag. I pull up in lots of different places. Starts a conversation. I just wanted to share as well that I've been out at Misty Mountain under the canopy of Michael and Barbara O'Neill.
Oh,
So
wow.
we know that Barbara O'Neill technically health in Australia, otherwise she'd be in jail.
That's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous, especially when she's a nana of a whole family and she has grandchildren. And Michael's really endeavouring to hold the fort out there at Misty Mountain. And I had the good fortune of meeting fellow freedom fighters out there, which was amazing. So yeah, we seem to find each other.
Do.
And there was a wonderful lady out there, Nikki, who was cooking down at Epic. So we related straight away.
Oh, wow.
And
Awesome.
then with my stance, I managed to find a few other people there that were freedom fighters, and we were holding space for a lot of people that took part and sadly are not in a good way. And yeah, we had the good fortune of, I have an aunt, Auntie Helen, who's actually lived in Greece for 50 years. Now this is a God thing, God orchestration, and this is how God works in our world. So I wasn't sure if I was going to go back out to Misty because I've had a few invites, and a lot of people know that since the 19th of August that I haven't had a home because I had to give it up in Burleigh due to a 51% criminal rate rise. And I moved out, and with all that flooding up there, I was glad to be out and actually at Misty Mountain where I was supported with lots of people. And Creator, God, Spirit, whatever you want to call it, guided me to go back out there in a dream. So I went back out there, and I was up in the lodge and asked to take some paperwork down to the office. And I went down to the office, and then I was heading back up, and one of the office ladies, Robin, she said to me, Sue, could you take this lady up to the, what's it called, the naturopathic rooms for a consult? So we all wear name badges there because there's a lot of people to meet. And I was like, sure. So this lady, I said, hi Helen, I'm Sue. And started walking up, and she seemed a bit familiar, but I couldn't work it out. And and then also she had beautiful fashion on. She had a beautiful belt and a beautiful skirt. And again, she reminded me of someone, but I couldn't work it out because my memory's getting very challenged today. These days, especially with my eye, my vision started to go, sadly. And so we walked her up and over. It was about a 5-minute walk. And then we got up to the top there, and for the naturopathic appointment, it was she was running late. Leonie was running late. So I had a bit of time and energy, so I said to Helen, I was like, oh, so Helen, where are you from? And she's like, Greece. And I'm like, oh, I've got an auntie from Greece. And she goes, oh, what's her name? And I said, Karen Tonus. And she goes, I'm Karen Tonus.
Oh, no way.
It turned out to be my auntie Helen.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, so she wasn't well.
That's
but
wild.
Yeah, I realised that's why I was put back there to support my own family member. And so it was, I find these days it's actually elating, but also really heartbreaking to see people sick. And Auntie Helen was embraced by everyone. She was actually treated like royalty after that experience, and she was there for 2 weeks, and she left there shining. But the conversations that we have with people now, and the hardest part is actually having the conversations with people that have taken that, and they're actually waking up and realising it. And for me, that's always been my stance, because I woke up at 16, and that's why I aligned with Michael O'Neill and the Heart Party and different parties. It was IMOP and different parties who at least are standing up for freedom of choice. And that's why I made my stance, and that's why I aligned to our red flag and everyone. So yeah, that's why I made a huge effort to come down here today, and of course to be with Exposure 2018, because I'm seeing the reality
but I also know through the natural health principles that our Barbara O'Neill and lots of nanas, like, you know, my nana used to give us cod liver oil. We weren't well, we had some cod liver oil, we were back out there, we were well. So there's so many wonderful remedies out there, and it isn't Big Pharma, it is not the whole solution. And anyone that takes the Hippocratic Oath or is in healthcare, we apply the right remedy at the right time, whatever that may be, whether it is cod liver oil or whether it's a colonic or whether they need to exercise. And I've always said that health is a successity. So it's lots of things. It's they say it's New Start, nutrition, exercise, water, sunshine, temperance, air, rest and trust in a higher power. Not in there does it say Big Pharma. Okay, so yeah. Anyway, I'm really grateful to be here amidst the ladies and everyone today and the matriarchs. And for the pioneers that are out there, the Barbara O'Neills. I had one other revelation out there about a lady called Sister Kenny. There's a movie, it's free, it's on YouTube as well. We're on YouTube right now with Exposure 28. But if you have the time and the luxury, look at Sister Kenny. It's a black and white movie. She was a bush nurse. She chose to be a bush nurse. And what Sister Kenny went through, I think 110 years ago, is exactly what Barbara O'Neill's been going through now. The patriarchal, and I'm sorry, but the patriarchal male-based misogynistic system that we've been under has been so oppressive for so long. These people that think they're doctors and it's just a nurse, or that they're doctors but they're just the people. Well, I'm a big believer in we all have our own intuition and we all know our bodies, and that we remedy all day from the moment that we wake up. Whether it's water for somebody, a coffee, it's a juice, we remedy all day. We know what we need to do to keep our bodies alive in this modern warfare. But anyway, thank you to teams like Exposure 28. We will get this meeting, otherwise Samantha Mostyn will be standing down. Remember that we have an election or a selection coming up, and we have Anzac Day coming up, and we have Easter. So it's a time of powerful Christ consciousness. So please, get your prayer warrior on, your intercessor on, get stronger in the word. We're inviting the prodigals home, the prodigies home, come home to that place of Christ within. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Lovely.
It's
It's
so
funny, isn't
special.
it? The doctors, when they are very happy and pleased to listen to mothers with their children. So if a mum brings a kid into the doctor and they think, they say, I think there's something wrong here, but I can't quite pinpoint it. The doctor will usually pay attention because they know it's a mother's instinct.
Yeah.
But they don't listen to anybody otherwise. Like, you know, if you go in and say, I just don't feel well, we'll do a blood test, we'll have a look. There's nothing wrong with you, off you go. But they discount people otherwise. Mother's instinct, yes, but not the rest.
Yeah.
That's what we're going back to. And there's so many healing modalities that are coming forward, particularly energy modalities.
Yes,
Because, you know, we're all frequency.
Yes.
Everything is frequency. Everything's connected.
Yes.
And so when you get the right frequency and the right remedy or modality for you at that time, so powerful. So powerful.
Exactly.
So yeah, lots of revelations to come.
That's
Can't
so
wait,
true.
Can't wait for it to become mainstream.
Absolutely.
Cut out we never have a condition that is caused by a lack of a medication, a lack of a drug. But
No. And
although that's what the farmer
investors,
people,
the investors,
industry.
the ones who have got that in the big pharma.
Big
Their
That's
portfolios, their share portfolios.
Yes. Big farmers, big harmer, and they don't want to cure you because there's no money.
Oh, no.
oh no,
Exactly.
that's
They
right.
just want to keep you as a lifelong customer.
That's it.
Yep.
And
Not
the
an
younger
hour
you
watch.
start, the better.
Yes.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
it was really sad. Yeah, we were at a birthday party where there was 2 sets of young parents plus another young woman who was doing foster care. There was about 8 or 10 young children, 10 down to 2-year-old. And all the parents could talk about, my husband and I sat there with our jaws dropping, and had to bite our tongues because we knew that there was no point starting an argument at this birthday party. All they were talking about was the degree of autism that the children had, the medications they were on, the paediatric appointments that they were trying to get, and what preschools they could get them into and what they'd have to do to get assistance to get them into these daycares and preschools.
That's horrendous.
And primary schools. You know, it was heartbreaking. And that's all that they were talking about.
They're creating a disability, aren't they? They're just creating, well, it's a whole financial strain on everyone. Got a whole disability from a young age. You know, it was just the elderly or some people with disabilities.
It's an industry.
One of the mums there, she must have been older than she looked, because she said she had a 22-year-old son who was high on the autism spectrum, and he was non-verbal, couldn't be toilet trained, still had to have pureed foods.
Oh my goodness.
And for her to be able to come, actually maybe he was late teens, because maybe it was a 22-year-old son was looking after him, and they brought the grandson with them, who was also on the spectrum. But this was the whole conversation between the parents. It was all about the children and the level of disability that the child was on and the level of assistance they could get from the government. And do you know how to screw them over this way and that way, you know? Do you know how to get more?
Because the system rewards disease. It doesn't actually reward us for health.
No, there's no money in that.
Getting up early, going for a walk. It doesn't reward it exactly, which is not a healthcare system at all.
And you have to fall within a particular category
Yeah, you have to
to
prove.
get assistance.
Yeah.
You have to, it's not just my child can't do this, that and the other thing, so I need help. No, you've got to have a diagnosis.
Yes.
So that you
And
can,
I know
qualify.
one couple are trying to get a 2-year-old diagnosed with autism, and she has a lot of behavioural issues, and that was really sad to see.
Well,
So,
In this one family, there was half a dozen or more children, and they were all on the spectrum, varying degrees, all on medication.
well, here's my hot tip: parasite cleanses, everyone.
And gut health.
Yeah.
Definitely gut health.
Yeah.
Particularly for parents before they try to conceive.
Yeah.
Forgotten about area.
I was just going to say something on frequency, shifting the energy, shifting the vibration, and that's why this idea of Lulu's, she came up here fired up the Parliament sitting. Shift the vibration, let's shift the energy. Let's work with the ley line that runs from the War Memorial, Mount Anglesey, right through Parliament, and spend some time there and ground ourselves and know the energy there. Tune, line, anchor in the light, and so that's our plan, is to be there while they're sitting. So what's that, next week?
This week and next
10
week,
days,
yeah.
Week and a half. Not exactly sure what time, but
Yep, we're going to pour some love into it, into that ley line.
that's what we're doing. And just the whole thing is gifting. We know what they do with fear, like Monsters Inc. Frighten the children and harvest the energy.
Yes.
You know what
And
that is.
meanwhile, love and joy,
So just to bring that back to our own
massive
hearts
compared to it.
is
Yep.
bring that love and joy and that inspiration, and remember what we can create through our own power of being and through our own light, and to be an inspiration to ourselves and to all others.
Yes. Cool. Okay, wow. Well, that was a good chat. Okay, so we may do a live from the lawn
Yeah,
again.
Yep. Alrighty. Oh, I don't know
good
if
to
you
see
want to look at
yesterday.
any other.
No.
Okay, love to you all, and thank you again for joining us. There's that beautiful tree. She is so wonderful.
We both love that tree. sort of
Thanks,
tucked in
Bianca.
behind a wall though, so
I know. I'll go up later and take a photo.
it's amazing.
Thanks,
See you all
Bianca.
later. Have a great day. Love to you all. Shine bright. Be love. Always be love.
Oh, nice. You're going to be here soon, Bianca. Lovely.
Oh,
Thank
cool.
you. All right. All right. See you all soon. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.